My Malaysian adventure continues today as I explore Kuching, a charming city located on the island of Borneo. Kuching is the capital of Sarawak, one of 2 Malaysian states on the island, and is known for its beautiful natural scenery, rich culture and delicious food. And everywhere here along the waterfront, you see these gorgeous little vendors that are selling curry puffs, or as they say here in Malaysia, curry pups. So I'm going to make my version using some beef and potatoes. And the first thing we want to do is finely chop an onion. So this is going to be the base of it. And what I love about these curry puffs is there's minimal ingredients. You just need a few key things like Malaysian curry powder, soy sauce, and some really good quality beef. Now you can see that my beef is quite fatty. You want it to be fatty so it stays really nice and juicy and doesn't dry out. So I've been preheating a pan. I'm going to add a good glug of oil, 1 to 2 tablespoons, and we're going to fry off our onions. Now you don't want too much colour on the onions, you just want to sweat them off until they start to soften, just to help them with the cooking and to ensure that they don't burn. I always like to add a pinch of salt. And this will only take a moment. It's looking good. And I'll add the minced beef. You could also do this with chicken mince if you like, or if you want a vegetarian option, just use the potatoes and you could add some peas and some pumpkin too. So we'll fry that off. Now once that beef starts to turn brown, which it is straight away, and you can see some of that fat rendering out, which is going to flavour our beautiful filling, we can add our curry powder. Now, Malaysian curry powder has a blend of cumin, coriander, turmeric, dried chilies. I love the smell of it. It's so distinct and you can get it everywhere. So we're going to add a good heaped teaspoon or tablespoon. Be generous with it. It's not spicy in the way of heat, but it is very aromatic. And we do want to toast it off slightly, just so it becomes really fragrant. Smells good. Okay, in with our potatoes. Now what I've done here is just cooked the potato, peeled the potato, and just cubed it. You don't want to add it raw because it's going to take too long to cook. So in with our cooked potato, and it's okay if it breaks up a little. Once the potatoes are in, give it a good stir, and just allow them to be completely coated in that curry powder. Now it does look a little bit dry, but that's our aim. You don't want it to be too wet, but I will add just a little water just so it evaporates and cooks everything together too. So a teaspoon at most. Wonderful, last few ingredients, a good pinch of sugar, and to season it, some light soy sauce. Splash of that. And we'll let that cook for another 2 to 3 minutes and the filling is done. But we don't want to start making our curry puffs yet. This does need to cool down. Now this is the fun part, making the curry puff. So just use some store-bought short crust pastry and I'm going to cut it into a round so it gets that classic shape. And I may be playing with fire here, working with pastry in this heat, but we'll see how it goes. You want to work fast so it doesn't melt too much, because if it's too hot, that pastry, it's going to be really hard to fold over. So you want about a teaspoon or so of the mixture. Don't overfill it. And then we'll take that circle and fold it over. And just seal it off. You don't need any water whatsoever. Take it away from the rest of that pastry and press it together so there's no air bubbles whatsoever. And then now I'm just going to use my thumb to pinch and fold. Pinch and fold. So we get that gorgeous crimped pattern on the curry puff. Okay, that's my first curry puff made, so it goes straight into the oil. We want it to be a medium hot, so around the 170 mark, and the reason for that is we don't want it to cook on the outside too fast and not cook the pastry inside. So give that about 3 to 4 minutes until it's really golden and you'll see it blister up. All right, gonna make a few more of these. puffed up nicely. They're golden in colour, just right. Make sure you just drain them on some paper towel, and then we can plate them up. I've got a little basket here. And we'll just pop them in there and serve them. Listen to that sound. See how crunchy and flaky they're going to be. So good. Last one. Look at that. You don't need any sauce with this. Here in Malaysia, you just eat them as is. I'm gonna tuck into one. I wanna show you how flaky this is and the inside. Oh, look at that. Perfection. That is so good. You know, in Australia, we've got pasties and they're pretty good. Malaysia, they know what they're doing here. Curry puffs, or as they say, curry pup. Try to make them at home. They're so good.